Welcome back to the studio. I'm Eric C. Jackson. Today we're going to go over part 2 of the last podcast that I had, talking about how artists can get their work shown internationally. So in part 2, we're mainly going to be focused on the business side of it. And the first point I want to bring up is having business accounts, whether it's your bank account or credit cards. It's really, really important that you set this part up before you start submitting, paying for entry fees, that type of thing. Because, actually it's like every quarter when you have to file for your taxes, but especially, the main tax time at the beginning of the year, going into April 15th, you want to make sure that you have your business expenses separate from your personal expenses. And then anytime you're trying to get a grant or a loan for your business, sometimes the providers want to see your annual reports, your quarterly reports, just get your numbers, look at your transactions, your profit and loss statements. So keeping your business expenses separate from your personal expenses is very important. And the best way to do that is to have your checking account only for your business. So in your business name, have a checking account. In your business name, have your credit cards. So for me, right now, I'm with Chase Inc. as far as credit cards go. And I have an affiliate link in the description of this podcast for you guys who are interested in that. But yes, those two things are the most important. So then when you start dealing with all types of transaction fees, everything falls under your business account. So I think what's one of the first things, now I'm going to go into the second point, going into transaction fees. When you are, for me, I'm in the United States. And so anytime I work with the gallery in Switzerland, the gallery in the United Kingdom, there are foreign transaction fees when you are doing business with an account that's in a country other than your origin country. So for me, the fees are, normal transaction fees are like $1.75. Maybe sometimes it's a little bit more expensive than that, but you want to find out what the fees are. If there are any, some banks, they pay for the fees themselves, and then some banks charge you per transaction. And so if you're a business that has a lot of transactions, like several a day, I would say look for a bank that doesn't have any foreign transaction fees, because that $1.50, $1.75 can it can add up pretty quickly. Let's see, the other thing that you're looking at, especially if my last 3 shows internationally have been digital, so I haven't had to worry about shipping fees. But whenever you are shipping your work from your origin country somewhere else, like if you're going from America to somewhere in Europe, somewhere in Asia, then you're going to have to pay customs for that. The custom fees are more expensive. So you're going to have to make sure that you price your artwork accordingly, because, and this goes back to like some people ask, like, why is your work so expensive? You have to cover the gallery fee, right? The gallery will charge you 35% to 50% of the sale price. Then you're going to have to pay the customs fees, the foreign transaction fees, the shipping, the insurance. And then if the work does not sell and the gallery is not going to have it on hold or keep it there in their inventory, you're going to have the work shipped back to you. So you have to pay for that as well. And then you have to pay yourself, right? So you have to make sure that your work is priced to the point where all the fees, including the gallery, including yourself, can get paid, right? So, yeah, that definitely contributes to how expensive your work is. So there's that. So again, use your business bank account, your business credit cards to cover all these fees. And then tax time comes around, as it is right now, the beginning of 2025. It's easier for you to go through all of your statements and tally up how much in terms of profit and loss there is. And as long as you keep up with that throughout the year, it's a lot easier to put the numbers together come January, February. So there's that. I'm going to go into an example here. Let me see if I can show you guys this here. So this is Tokyo International Art Fair. They've been sending me emails. And yeah, this one, they sent me like an hour and a half ago. But they have an 8th edition of the art fair. And there's a lot of information here. And so if this is something that you're interested in doing, and I'm just using this as an example, you would submit and just read all the fine print. Read as much of the fine print as you possibly can to make sure that there's no financial charges or obligations that will just surprise you. So make sure you read through everything for sure. There's the pricing, the floor plans. Some of this is in Japanese. Let's see if we have any pricing here. Okay, so let's go to floor plans. Let's see if I can enlarge this for you guys. Okay. So there's a couple of things here. Here's the layout. So you want to pick your space, right? Or where you want to be. Close to the entrance. You have all these spaces here. And then you want to link that or correspond that to the booth size. So if you're on a digital screen, right, which means that you're not going to ship the artwork, then for 2 artworks, it's going to be €750. For 4 artworks, it's going to be €975. And that is for, again, just a digital presentation. Now, if you want the wall, this looks like a 1/2 meter. That's what it looks like. And that's going to be $11.75 in terms of euro. And then you get more space here. The price goes up all the way into, if you want a D booth, then that's going to be €5,845. So again, I'm in the States, right? I'm in the United States. So if I'm wondering, well, how much is €5,845 in US dollars? I usually just go to Google and let me see, it was 58.45. Hold on. I hate when I do that. There we go. Sorry about that. All right. So there's the euro 58.45 that translates into $6,106 in US dollars. So yes, the euro, the value of the euro is 4 cents higher than the US dollar at this point, and you have to check this constantly whenever you're going to exchange or have a currency conversion. So US dollar can be converted to any of these. It just depends on what currency they're asking for. And here's a Japanese yen. So yeah, it definitely depends on what the currency is. So again, you would check this constantly. So right before you pay for your entry fees internationally, you would check to see the currency conversion rate, because you need to know how much is this going to cost me in, well, for my case, US dollars. Because what they're going to do is they're going to take this out in euro, right? And then your bank is going to convert it, your US dollars over into euro. So what's going to happen is they're going to get their 58.45 in euro, right? And then you're going to get a bill that's over $6,000, over $6,100. So the first time I did this, the first couple of times I did this, I had like a sticker shock, because I didn't take into account the conversion rate, and back then the US dollar wasn't as strong. So yeah, I ended up paying quite a bit more than I thought I was gonna have to pay. So yeah, always keep an eye on the conversion. Now let's see again if you're just going for the digital screen, 2 artworks for $750. Then you would come here, 750. That translates into $783.68 for US. So again, just be careful. And when you're factoring in cost, make sure that you always have in mind the conversion rate with where your art is going. So for example, if your art piece cost $900 in the US, right? You would put that in and then understand, okay, how much is that going to be in euro? Because the person who's buying the art, they're going to pay it based on their currency, right? So if you're selling it to someone that's using a euro, they're going to give you 861 euro and 32 cents. And then when that conversion comes over, the bank has it converted into US dollars. There's going to be a foreign transaction fee. And then they're also going to do the conversion for you. The banks will go through the conversion for you, and then you'll have the funds in US dollars, or vice versa, depending on where you live. So yeah, always keep that in mind. Like, it's not more times than not, it's not a 1-to-1 exchange. It's like a lot of currencies are higher or lower than the other. It just depends on which one you're working with. Okay, that was my second point. And then what I have over here as a bonus, and it kind of ties in to what I'm already talking about. You want to make sure that you're gonna get a return on your investment. So you have to think, what are the fees gonna be, right? What are the fees going to be as far as if you're purchasing a booth, that's that type of thing. It has a If you're going to participate in this art fair, consider all the cost and make sure you're still making a profit at the end once everything is paid off, right? Because if you spend $10,000 getting the booth, printing the work, shipping, if you're going to travel there yourself, that type of thing, you need to sell at least $10,000 worth of artwork in order to break even. Because if you spend or you put $10,000 into it and you only sell $8,000 worth of artwork, you've lost $2,000 on this event, this art fair. Participating in the art fair, you've lost $2,000. So always have in mind, and I know in the beginning it's tough because you really have to guess and hope, but try to get an idea of how your work is going to do, or how you believe your work is going to do. How do you anticipate that the sales going? If you think you're going to get plenty of sales to cover the fees and everything, okay, go for it, right? But if you're not sure, I would definitely start small. Right, you can start in the €1,200 range, somewhere in here, right? Just start small. If you're definitely not sure how people are going to react or respond, and then if sales go really, really well, then the following art fair, you can go ahead and get a bigger space, bigger wall, get a booth by yourself, depending on if the sales are that good. Yeah, and just go from there. But I'm just cautioning you that make sure there's a return on investment, that you at least break even on getting the money back that you put into it. So there's that. Excuse me. But yeah, that's the floor plan. Now, the other thing that I will throw in is, I believe you can just show your work online, but there's a different link to that. Okay, here we go. Sell in our online art gallery. So this is another way that you guys can just lower the entry fees, the entry cost of getting into their network. Let's see if I can expand this. So if you want to, this is digital art exhibition and or online art gallery, sell your art worldwide. And again, the cost to get into this is lower, right? So this one, online art exhibition, 6 months for €600. It's not bad. That's not as much as, it was before. So then I would say, okay, how much is €600 in US That would be $626.94. And again, like today's Monday, I put the number in and it says, okay, the US dollar is going to go from 600 euro to 626.94 in the US. If you come back on Wednesday, this could be different. Like 2 days from now, this can be different. So every time you're looking at cost and doing the currency exchange, just check it. But that's not too bad. And then online they have 5 works for a year is $750. 10 artworks for a year, $950. Digital art exhibition. So I'm thinking that this is the top 3 options are just for the website. But then if you want to be a part of the art fair and you want your work on screen, then you have 2 artworks here for $750, 4 artworks for $975. That's rough. And then there's some more options down here. Homepage, slide banner on their website is $175. And then you get an interview, TIAF website, Facebook, Twitter. That's €220. Facebook photo album also shared on Twitter. They've got 80,000 followers. That's $125 in euro. Then there's an Instagram post. They got 120,000 followers on TIAF, and a partner profile. That's $275 in euro. And then, last but not least, you can get into the newsletter. They send it out to 120,000 emails, and that's for €550. And then you get down here, there is a one-time application fee of €150. Once you get accepted, €50 will be deducted from your total booking fee, and €100 will be used for the registration and administration fee. In case you're not accepted, you'll receive a refund of the full €150 within 48 hours. So that's, And then here you also notice they have a transaction fee of $9.75. Now, also, if you decide to use PayPal, which you can also set up your business account on PayPal, PayPal is also probably going to charge you a foreign transaction fee. So, yeah, there's a lot of fees. But anyway, so there's that. And I think that this is ongoing. I don't think there's a deadline for the actual website. So you guys can definitely check this out. I think this will take me to the home page. Hold on, here we go. Yeah, this is the home page. So here's artist, and they have a list of artists on here. It's not a lot. It's not a lot of people. And what you also want to do is just look at the design, the style of the artists they already have on here and see what type of work are they accepting, because I imagine there's a bunch of people submitting their work on here, but they really don't have a lot of artists. So again, you will get a refund from this particular gallery, which is great, because more times, like, that's the first time I've ever heard of that. Like, you would get your application feedback. That's like, actually, I probably never heard of that before. So that's the first that I've seen that. But yeah, just get a feel for what type of work they're accepting. And then also you can look at the artists that they already have on here, go to their social media channels, go to their website, their official main website, and look at how they present their work and the style of their website, their social media profiles. Because all of that ties in together, whether a gallery will bring you on board or not. But yeah, like, what I'm noticing now is everything is really different. In terms of style, like this is totally different from what I've been seeing. So this is I couldn't tell you what style this leans towards. Yeah, this is more pop culture, which is totally different from the artists before. So yeah, I mean, at this point I'm thinking, okay, if you have the budget, go ahead and apply and see what happens. Yeah, for sure. And then the other thing that you want to do when you are looking at potential galleries overseas, you want to make sure that the galleries are legit. Like, make sure that they are not a scam. Because I have run into quite a few of those over the years. Too many, actually. So you always want to be careful with working with people overseas, because you're not actually meeting them. The galleries that I've worked with internationally, I've never met them. That's from the staff, the curators, the owners. I've just never met them face to face. So you always want to just do your due diligence, make sure that it's a real gallery, a real publication. Look at how active they are, and communicate with other artists that they're working with on, is it a good relationship, bad relationship, so, get a feel for how things are going with the artists that they currently represent. And obviously, I mean, artists, we all talk, to each other. And sometimes we're a part of artist groups or certain networks, and the word does get around. Sometimes people ask me, how was it working with this gallery or that publication? Because they always send out, these newsletters, and they send out inquiries. And when someone sees that when I've worked with a gallery before, they'll just ask me, like, how was this particular experience with them. So there's that. So I'm always happy to share that type of information. Wow, this is nice. This is nice. So obviously they're on Instagram, Facebook. There's an email here. There's X. Yeah, see it this up here at the top. 82.6K thousand followers. That's very healthy. And then I also look at how often do they post on here. So this particular post is from 2 days ago. And then the number of posts they have 631. So if you have gallery publication, whomever approaches you and says, okay, we want you to pay $200, $300, if not more, to promote your work, and they only have like 1,000 followers and they don't post very much, they're not really active, then that's not worth it. You know, it's just not. You want to be, if you're going to spend $500, $700, whatever the case is, you want to get in front of the largest audience that you possibly can, and an audience that's really engaged and active. And again, like this one's in Japan, so chances of me actually meeting them, since I can't travel that far, is slim to none. But judging from their social media platform, it's like I can tell that they're active, right? And I've been with Tokyo, the Tokyo Art Fair. I've been following them for several months now, probably years. So I'm used to getting emails and whatnot from them. So yeah, just be as involved as you possibly can with international galleries, organizations, publications, and engage with them on their profiles, social media profiles, and then always have your own profiles ready. So this is mine. And basically I treat it like a portfolio. But what I'm trying to do now is just, I think going into this year, just be more visible. Because most of the time I just post my work. I'm not in the, I'm not in my post. Like in my post, I'll post something like this and just show where my work is. Like this is the one that's in Switzerland. But I'm not physically there, right? And this was November last year when I posted this. Yeah, this was in Zug, Switzerland. So this year, I'm trying to do this more to where I'm in the post and I'm showing my work and what I do. And this is really helpful because the people overseas don't know who you are either. And they're thinking, okay, we're not going to meet this person. So in order to make sure that you are a real person, they'll look at everything, online. They'll Google you, go to your website, go to your social media channels, look at how active you are, just to make sure that you're a legit artist. So yeah, I'm going to try to do this more this year, is to actually be in the post while I'm showing you guys my work. And as I've been researching, I think that's going to help. I think that's going to help me in the long run get more sales. So this is my well, it's not my official. It's my first of 2025 in terms of portrait. So like I said, I put my work up in the background. to probably take more professional portraits, definitely with my work, and that's going to help me with marketing. But I was told that people don't just buy your work. You have to become the face of your work, of your studio, your business. You have to become the face of that. And because I've been more shy or hesitant to do that, that's hurt me with the marketing. So like I said, this year, I'm going to do my best to try to just be out front a lot more than, I'm used to. A lot more than I'm used to. So, yeah, those are my pointers that I had for part 2. If you guys have any more questions about anything really, like I said in part 1, this video was requested and left by one of the viewers in the comments. And so, yeah, I just split it up into 2 parts because when I finished the first video, the first podcast, I was like, the stuff that's more on the business side is really important. So I didn't include that the first time around. Excuse me. And I really wanted to come back around and share that information. So I think that's all I have for this one. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be tomorrow or Wednesday, but I have more portraits that I want to work on, and I'm working on getting better with the I guess it's pronounced Gaussian blur, working on the skin for my portraits, my self-portraits, and making sure just the presentation is right. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to add that to the podcast. Let's see, my social media channels. Oh my gosh. Obviously, we're on YouTube. I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest. I have a Google profile for the business. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, formerly Twitter. And then I just opened this channel on Twitch, which is streaming live. So this one is going to get downloaded and added to YouTube. Part 1 of this subject is already on YouTube. So you guys can go there and check it out. All the links are on the Twitch channel if you guys want to check out my other social media profiles from Twitch. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Take care.